Last time we went through the thought process for seeing, I think. And there are 17 thought movements in that thought process, and 14 of them are called Viti Cetas. And this thought process is for 5 sense doors, or at least the first one is for eye door thought process. That is when you see something, which is present, which is existing at the present moment. Now, in this handout, the name of number 4 is given as eye door adverting. But actually it is 5 sense door adverting. The name is 5 sense door adverting. Although in this particular thought process, it is turning towards eye door. Because the name of the Ceta is 5 sense door adverting, Pancha Dwara Vajana. So this thought process consists of 17 thought moments. The first 3 are bhavangas, and the rest 14 are called Viti Cetas. So Viti Cetas begin with 5 sense door adverting, and then eye consciousness, receiving, investigating, determining, and then javanas, registration, 2 registrations, and then back to bhavanga again. Now, if you understand this, you understand other thought processes of ear door, nose door, tongue door, and body door. And this is for the object which is called very great Adimahanda. But for the great object, Mahanda object, there are no registration movements and so on. So I will not go into detail on these different kinds of 5 sense door thought processes. So whenever you experience the present sense object, and there is one of these 5 kinds of thought processes. And then there is mind door thought process. That means when you experience something through your mind, not through the eyes, ears, and so on. And so mind door thought process is a little different from 5 sense door thought processes. And in the manual, mind door thought process is described as of 2 kinds, vibhuta and avibhuta. Maybe obvious and not obvious. And then, with regard to the first one, vibhuta, there is no past bhavanga in the manual. But in the handouts, both with past bhavanga and without past bhavanga are given. That is because the manual is very it deals with very limited kinds of mind or thought processes. So in mind or thought process, there can be past bhavanga or there may not be past bhavanga. That depends on what kind of object mind is taking at the time. If the mind is taking the present object, then there should be past bhavanga. if the mind is taking past object or future objects or the other objects like Chetas and Jetasikas, then there can be no past bhavanga. So the mind or thought process can be both with and without past bhavanga. And after the mind or thought process, we have other kinds of mind or thought processes. So up till now, these are called kama vachara thought processes. Thought processes belonging to sense sphere. And next come appana thought processes. Now appana thought process comprises jhana thought process, and then magga thought process, and then phala samapatti, or attainment of phala thought process, and then not included here the nirodha samapatti, cessation thought process. So we'll come to nirodha samapatti later, or more fully in the 9th chapter. So the first of the appana thought processes is jhana thought process. Now jhana thought process is of two kinds. Jhana at the first attainment and jhana on later attainment. Now the first attainment means when a person first attains jhana. After attaining that jhana, he may experience that jhana again later on. He may experience that jhana again and again. So in that case it is called sustained attainment, because there the jhana is sustained for as long as the person wishes. So in the first attainment thought process, there is only one moment of jhana. But in the sustained attainment thought processes, jhanas can arise billions of times, because he may be in that jhana for 1 hour, 2 hours, or 1 day, 2 days, say up to 7 days. So in the thought processes for sustained attainment, or in Pali, samapajjana thought processes, jhana moments can be countless. The second kind of appana thought process is magga thought process. That means thought process at the moment of attainment of enlightenment. Now this thought process always follow the vipassana thought process. Vipassana thought process is kama vachara thought process. So by kama vachara thought processes, a person practices vipassana, and when he is about to get enlightenment, then a thought process arises, and that thought process comprises both magga and phala, both magga and fruition. So that is the thought process at the moment of enlightenment. And you know that there are 4 stages of enlightenment. And so there can be 4 kinds of magga thought processes. So Sotapaddi magga thought processes, Sakadagami magga, Anagami magga, and Arahata magga thought process. Since it is mind or thought process, we do not need past bhavanga here. So the thought process runs like this: vibrating bhavanga, and then arrest bhavanga, and then manodvara vajana, and then parikama, Upachara, Anuloma, Gotrabhu, and then Magga. And then follow 2 moments of Phala. So this thought process arises at the moment of all types of consciousness take visible object as object. But here it is different. Now let us go back to Manodhara, Vajana, Parikama, Upachara, Anuloma. Now they take what as object? Miscellaneous formations. That is what is technically called. So miscellaneous formations really mean Nama and Rupa. Because Nama and Rupa both are called Sankharas. They arise depending on some conditions. So those that are conditioned by some other conditions are called Sankhara. So up till Anuloma, adaptation, the object is mind or matter. Suppose a person is practicing vipassana meditation. He may be mindful of Rupa at that time, or he may be mindful of Nama. So up till Anuloma, the object of these thought movements is miscellaneous formations or conditioned phenomena or just a mind and matter. But beginning with Gotrabhu or Gotrabhu and Magga and Phala, these thought moments take Nibbana as object. So Gotrabhu is very strange. It belongs to wholesome sense sphere consciousness, but it takes Nibbana as object here. That is why in Visuddhimagga it is stated that Gotrabhu does not belong to the former stage of purity and also does not belong to the later stage of purity. So it is just in between. Because since it takes Nibbana as object, it does not belong to the former previous stage of purity. Since it does not eradicate any mental defilements, it is not included in the Magga group. So it is just between these two stages of purity, the Gotrabhu. And then Magga arises and it takes Nibbana as object and it destroys the mental defilements altogether. So, enlightenment, according to Abhidhamma, is the arising of Magga Citta, which takes Nibbana as object, and at the same time, which destroys mental defilements once and for all. So that moment is called enlightenment moment. So when we say enlightenment, or sometimes sees the truth, or realizes Nibbana or whatever, we mean that Magga Citta arises, taking Nibbana as object and destroying the defilements altogether. And this Magga Citta is followed by 2 Phala thought moments, 2 fruition thought moments. And their function is what? Further tranquilization of defilements. That means defilements are destroyed by Magga, but they put some more weight on it so that the mental defilements do not come up again anymore. So the Magga and Phala are compared to one, first extinguish the fire, and then later pouring water onto the fire so that it cannot burn again. So later pouring water is like the function of fruition thought moments. So it's always called Patipasadhi in Pali. That means calming down again or something like that. So that means further tranquilization of mental defilements. And after that, bhavanga arises again, or lapse into bhavanga. So if you count the jhana moments, how many jhana moments are there in this thought process? You begin with parikama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we get seven jhana moments. Normally there are 7 jhana moments in a thought process, right? So here we get 7 jhana moments. 4 kamavajra jhana moments and 3 supramundane moments. Now this is for the person with not so keen intellect, right? So a person with keen intellect, for that person, how will the process look, how will it look like? For a person with keen intellect or keen faculty, there is no parikama. Since there is no parikama, but we should have 7 jhana moments, there is one more phala moment. So for him, the process is manodvara vajana, upachara, anuloma, kotrabhu, magga, and then 3 phala moments. Now this is for the Sotapaddi magga attainment thought process. Now when a person practices vipassana again and reaches the second stage, Sagadagami stage, the process runs in the same way, but with one difference, and that is, in that case, Kudrabu is called Vodhana. Vodhana means purity or purification. So the name Vodhana is given to Kudrabu. So let's say when we want to say write down the thought process of appamagas, then we say manodvara vajana, parikama, upachara, anuloma, vodhana, and then magga and phala as usual. So the process is the same, but just the Gotrabu is named not Gotrabu, but it is Vodhana. Because Gotrabu, at the moment or immediately after Gotrabu, the lineage is changed. And that lineage is not changed when he reaches the second stage, third stage or fourth stage. Because when he reaches the first stage, he becomes an Arya. And when he reaches the second stage, he is still an Arya, third stage still Arya, fourth stage still Arya. So there is no change of lineage. So that is not called Gotrabu in the case of Appamagga thought processes. So instead it is called Vodhana. So on this sheet, there are given Sotapaddi Magga and then Appamaggas. So in the process for Appamaggas, you do not find Gotrabu, but instead you find Vodhana. Oh. There is another thought process among Kamavajra thought processes, and that is thought process with the guest bhavanga. Because there is a difficulty here. So instead of the usual what to call, Dadaramana or Bhavanga, another Bhavanga arises which is called a guest Bhavanga. It's a little involved, a little difficult. The diagram is given on one sheet. So you may look at that. But that is not, it's not so different from other thought processes. So they are, what do you call, Atita Bhavanga, Pas Bhavanga, Vibration Bhavanga, Arrest Bhavanga, and then 5 sense door adverting, I consciousness, receiving, investigating, determining, Yavana, and then RBH means Agantuka. In Pali it is called Agantuka. So RBH means Agantuka Bhavanga, guest Bhavanga. And then usual Bhavanga. But in order to understand this, you must understand that in one life, Padisandhi, Bhavanga and Chuti must be identical, of identical identical type of consciousness. If the Padisandhi is Somanasa, then Bhavangas are also Somanasa and Chuti is also Somanasa. If the Padisandhi is Ubeka, then Bhavangas must also be Ubeka and Chuti must also be Ubeka, right? And also, in order to understand this, you must understand which kind of registering and bhavangas follow which kind of jhavanas. So that you have to go back to one section in the 4th chapter. It may be too complicated here. You have to go back and read the book. But the gist is given above that thought process. So, I will not talk about this today. So, please note that there is such a thing as guest bhavanga, a bhavanga which arises in place of normal bhavanga. Okay. Normally, say Somanasa must be followed by Somanasa Tadaramana, Ubeka must be followed by Ubeka Tadaramana, and so on. Now let us go to jhavanas that arise 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and so on. There is another sheet here. Jhavanas arising. Normally, how many times jhavana arise? Normally there are seven times or 7 moments of jhavanas. But there are jhavanas that arise only once. Can you tell me which jhavanas? Huh? You just saw one or 2 jhavanas there. Jhana jhana at the first attainment, right? And then magga. And there's another one. You remember? Abhinya. I have not told you about the Abhinya thought process, right? Okay. So, you have the sheet with you? Yeah. So there are Mahagata jhanas on first attainment. Mahagata jhanas mean Rupa Vajra and Arupa Vajra jhanas. So on the first attainment, they arise only once. And then Abhinya jhavana. So supernormal knowledge thought process. In that thought process, Abhinya Javana arise only once. And then Magga Chetas only once. And then Anagami Phala and Arhata Phala Chetas on emerging from Nirodha Samapatti. Now Nirodha Samapatti is attainment of cessation. So when a person attains that cessation, his mental activity is totally suspended. So no consciousness, no chetasikas at that time. So he is more or less like a statue. And then emerging from that Nirodha Samapatti to an Anagami Phala arises once, to an Arahant, Arhata Phala arises once. So these javanas arise only once. And there are those who that arise 2 times, and that is 4th Arupa Vachara Jhana preceding Nirodha Samapatti. You have to understand Nirodha Samapatti to understand this. So when a person enters into Nirodha Samapatti, he has to go through all the 8 jhanas. And then just before entering into Nirodha Samapatti, there are 2 Nevasanya, Nasanya. Neither perception nor non-perception. The 2 moments of Nevasanya, Nasanya, Yatana. So these are the ones, the 4th Arupa Vajra Jhana javanas that arise 2 times at that time. At other times, 4th Arupa Vajra Jhana can arise only once or many times. Then 2 or 3 times, Phala javanas after Maggas. So in the Magga thought process, you have seen that Phala thought process arises twice. It can arise also 3 times. And then those that arise 4 times, reflecting javanas at the time of Yamaka Badi Hariya for Buddhas. Now when I made these notes, you have already gone through that chapter, so I use Pali words here. Yamaka Badi Hariya means, it's called twin miracle. So Buddha showed this miracle 2 or 3 times in his life. First, after the first week of his enlightenment, and then at the assembly of his relatives in Kapilavatthu, and then just before going up to Tawatingsa heaven, he showed this miracle. So it is called in Pali Yamaka. Yamaka means twin, a pair. Padihariya means miracle. That means when Buddha showed this miracle, from his upper part of the body, fire comes out, and from his lower part of the body, water comes out. Or from his right side of the body, fire, from the left side of the body, water, and so on and so on. From the right eye, fire, from the left eye, water, and from one pore, water, and from one pore, water, and so on. So, but those who watch that miracle thinks that water and fire arise or come out at the same time. Actually, they cannot come out at the same time, because Buddha had to enter into jhana and then cause the fire to come out with one type of thought process, and then with another thought process, he made the other one, what go? Fire or water, come out. So Buddha needs to enter into this jhana, abhinya thought processes very quickly, so that the spectators think that water and fire are coming out at the same moment. So, at such a time, the reflecting javanas cannot arise leisurely for 7 moments. So for Buddhas, only 4 moments of reflecting javanas arise. Immediately preceding the abhinya thought process, there is reflecting thought process. Now if you look down below, you will see 6 sequences, a sequence of 6 thought processes to reach abhinya thought process. So there you find number 2, reflecting thought process, and number 5, again, reflecting thought process. So during these thought processes, normally the Kamavajara javanas would arise 7 times. But here, Buddha had to hurry so that people think that water and fire are coming out at the same time. So he had to hurry, and he could not let 7 thought moments to arise, so just 4 thought moments. It would be difficult to understand or to accept if we do not have the analogy of computers. Now, 7 thought moments and 3 thought moments, what is the difference? Just 7 thought moments and 4 thought moments. There is only a difference of 3 thought moments. In just a snapping of fingers, billions of thought moments can arise and disappear, right? So 3 thought moments are nothing. So in the same way, now the computers are doing a lot of wonderful things. And if you have to wait about half a second, you think, it's too long. And the computer is slow. So they are making computer faster and faster. So Buddha had to here enter into abhinyas quickly, and so he didn't have time to let the reflecting javanas arise for 7 moments. So only 4 moments, and then another supernormal thought process, and then another supernormal thought process, and so on. So only 4 times for the Buddhas. 5 times reflecting javanas at similar times for Savakas. But for disciples, 5 times. So disciples are not as advanced as the Buddha, and so they need 5 moments of reflecting consciousness. So it means for them the thought process consists of only 5 javanas, not 7 javanas. And then Kamavajara javanas at times of death, fainting, etc. So when approaching death and just immediately before death, there are 5 moments of javanas, and they are called, in Pali, they are called Maranasana javanas. That means near-death javanas. So at that time, javanas arise only 5 times, because at that moment the body is very weak and the heart is also very weak. And when you faint, also there are 5 moments of javanas. And then 6 or 7 times, that is normal, regular. The Kamavajara javanas arise for 6 or 7 times. And many times, Mahagata and Phala javanas during Samapatti vitis. So during sustained attainment, Rupavajara jhanas and Arupavajara jhanas arise many times. And during Phala Samapatti viti also, and the Phala thought moments arise many times. So we must remember which javanas arise once and which twice, and so on. And then the sequence of vitis for abhinyas is given down there. The first is a basis jhana. So in order to get to the abhinya, one has to go through 5 kinds of thought processes. The first basic jhana process, and then reflecting on the jhanas, and then resolution. That means may fire come out of my body, or may water come out of my body, something like that. So that thought process. And then basis jhana again, and then reflecting on the jhana, and only after these 5 comes abhinya. So in order to, and only when abhinya thought process is reached, do fire and say water come out of the body of the Buddha. So now we can see how microscopic the points of consciousness are. So this is jhanas arising once, 2 times, and so on. We almost come to an end. The last seed is puggalas and chetas. That means individuals and the chetas, they experience. I have made the cards, and I want to know whether I have given you those cards. I don't remember that. You brought them? Yes. If you do not, yeah, let them have them. But we'll not go through them individually. It's okay. You have this sheet? Yes. Puggalas and chetas. The last one among handouts for chapter 4. This is a very, very brief statement. Now, first, you remember different kinds of individuals, different kind of puggalas. There are how many kinds of puggalas? How many kinds of individuals? 12, right? The first one is called dukkati ahetuka. Those that take conception with ahetuka consciousness, and those that are born in 4 woeful states. Dukkati ahetuka. So they are putthojanas. And then the next one is sugati ahetuka. Those that are reborn with ahetuka consciousness, but reborn in human realm or other deva realms. And they are also putthojanas. And then next is dvihetuka. Now you know dvihetuka means 2 roots. Those who are born with 2 root consciousness. They can be human beings, or they can, and also they can be some deva beings. When a person is dvihetuka, he is invariably sugati. There is no dvihetuka and dukkati. And also, when we say a person is dvihetuka, a 2-root person, he is a putthodjana. So when we refer to those persons, we do not say he is sugati dvihetuka putthodjana. We just say dvihetuka. So when we say dvihetuka, it is understood that he is a sugati person and he is a putthodjana. So that is why these words are put in square brackets. And the next person is Tihetuka Puthujana. Now here Puthujana is not put in brackets because Tihetuka can be Puthujana and Tihetuka can be Ariyas, enlightened persons. So here we need the word Puthujana to refer to that particular person. And when he is Tihetuka Puthujana, he is already a Sukati person. So we don't need to say he is Sukati. So Tihetuka Puthujana, that means a Puthujana born with three-root consciousness. And then Sotapanna. We do not say Sukati Tihetuka Sotapanna actually, because when we say Sotapanna, he must be Tihetuka. He must be born with three-root consciousness, and he must be born in Sukati, happy realms. So Sotapanna. And then the second one, Sakadagami. The third one, Anagami. And the fourth one, Arahant. So they are all Tihetukas. So we have only 8. Why? Oh, 4 Magga persons, right? All Magadha individuals have only one Cheta, that is their respective Magga Cheta. So at the moment of Magga, if you look at the diagram of path thought process again, you will see Magga there. So at that very moment, he is called a Magga person. And beginning with Phala moments, he is called a Phala person. So, 4 Magga persons. That means a person at Sotapanna Magga moment, at Sakadagami Magga moment, at Anagami Magga moment, and at Arahata Magga moment. So 4 Magga persons. So there are altogether 12 persons or individuals. 4 Magga persons, 4 Phala persons, and 4 Puthujjanas. The 4 Puthujjanas are Dugati Ahetuka, Sugati Ahetuka, Dvihetuka, Tihetuka. So there are 12 kinds of persons. And on this sheet, the type of consciousness which they do not experience are given. So Dogati Ahetuka, a person does not experience Kiriya Javanas. He does not experience Appana Javanas. He does not experience Jnana Sampayutta Vipaka. And he does not experience Jnana Vipayutta Mahavipakas. Now, Dogati Ahetuka person is a person born in hell or an animal, right? So that person cannot experience Kriya Javanas. It's out of the question. No Appana Javanas. Not Jnana Sampayutta Vipakas. Both Kamavajra and Rupavajra, and Jnana Vipayutta Kamavajra Vipakas also. So and Sugati Ahetuka cannot experience Kiriya Javanas, Appana Javanas, and then Jnana Sampayutta Vipakas. So in his life there will be no Jnana Sampayutta Vipaka at all. Now Dvihetuka, same. Dvihetuka Puthujjanas cannot experience Kiriya Javanas, Appana Javanas, and Jnana Sampayutta Vipakas. Tihetuka Puthujjana cannot experience Kiriya Javanas and Lokuttara Chetas. So he can experience Appana Javanas. Mahagata Javanas. Now Sotapanna cannot experience Ditthigata Sampayutta Javanas, because he has eradicated wrong view, Miccha Ditthi altogether, and he does not experience Vicikiccha, and he does not experience Kiriya Javanas because he is not an Arahant, and he does not experience Magga Chetas because he has already gone through it, and 3 Abba Phala Chetas he does not experience. Sakadagami cannot experience same Daitikita Sampayutta Javanas, Vicikiccha Javana, Kiriya Javanas, and Magga Chetas in first, third, fourth Phala Chetas. Anagami, Daitikita Sampayutta Javanas, he does not experience, and then Dosa Mula Javanas also, because Anagami has eradicated Dosa and Kamaraga, right? Vicikiccha, no, Kiriya Javanas, no, and Magga Chetas and first, second, fourth Phala Chetas he does not experience. And Arahant does not experience Kusala Javanas. It's a pity they cannot get Kusala. Although they practice what we call Kusala acts, an Arahant does not get Kusala. Giving or paying respect to the Buddha or teaching and these things, these are meritorious acts for us, right? But for an Arahant, they are not meritorious acts. Arahant doesn't get any kusala from his actions because he has already eradicated the roots of existence, avijja, ignorance, and tanha, craving. So he does not experience kusala javanas, he does not experience akusala javanas, and he does not experience magga chetas, and 3 lower phala chetas. So when we know which chetas a person does not experience, then we know which chetas he experiences. And you have to find out, referring back to the cheta chart. So the cards today are mostly for that. I don't have the cards. So you may yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. You may go to all stuff. Right. After 3 cards, Dukati Ahetuka Bhuttojana. So a Dukati Ahetuka Bhuttojana experiences 35 types of consciousness. 37 types of consciousness. Now if you check with the sheet, a Dukati Ahetuka Bhuttojana does not experience Kriya Javanas, right? Abhana Javanas. Jnana Sampayutta Vibhagas. So that includes Rupavajra Vibhaga, and Arupavajra Vibhaga, and Phala Chetas. And then Jnana Vibhuta Mahavibhaga Chetas. Right? Yeah. So it is said here, Jnana Sampayutta Vibhagas and Jnana Vibhuta Mahavibhagas. So that means all Mahavibhagas, right? Yeah. So a Dukati Ahetuka Bhuttojana experiences all 12 akusala chetas and 17 Ahetuka chetas without hasitobhara, and then 8 Kamavajra kusala chetas. So a person who is born in hell or an animal can get one of the 8 kusala chetas. Yeah? Sometimes 3 root. Yeah. And then Sukati I, second one, Sukati Ahetuka Bhuttojana and Dvihetuka Bhuttojana. They have the same number of consciousness. So they have 4 more, right? Jnana Sampayo, Jnana Vipayuta Vibhagas, Mahavibhagas, they can experience. So 41. And then next, Kama Vajra Tihetuka Bhuttojana. Because Tihetuka Bhuttojana can be reborn in Kama Vajra realm or Rupa Vajra realm or Arupa Vajra realm. So we have to say here Kama Vajra. Say human being, right? A Tihetuka Bhuttojana human being. So that person can experience 45 types of consciousness. That is, if he does not get jhana. But if he gets jhana, next card, 54 types of consciousness, because we have to add 9. So in this way, you find out how many types of consciousness a particular person can experience. So these are for easy reference. It's okay. I gave the man wanted to put the Burmese and I just let him do it. But you see chapter 4, paragraph 16. So that is the same thing. Right. Chapter 4, paragraph 16. Yeah. Oh, there should be only 2. Do you have 3 with Burmese? Two. The last 2 are the same. I mean, no. The first and the last are the same. So, only 2. But there is one card with Burmese also. I just saw it. But you just ignore the Burmese. Arupa Vajra Arhata Plata. That is Burmese also. It's okay.
Procedure, Apachana, the Burmese color. I get 3 Burmese color.
2 or 3?
3.
The first and the third are the same. Right? Yeah. And now this package, the first show how many chetas arise in Kama Vajra realm, right? And the second show how many chetas arise in Rupa Vajra realm, and the third shows how many chetas in Arupa Vajra realm. This is by realm, not by individuals. Yeah. This is it. We finished review of 4th chapter. Very quick review. When you come next time, please reread or re-study the portions we have covered, so that I can go through them quickly. I know. We still have time? Then we'll go to 5th chapter. Now, 5th chapter deals, there are how many sections in 5th chapter? Rams, right? And then Patisandhis, and then Karma, and then death. So 4 sections. The first section deals with 31 planes of existence. So according to Buddhism, the world, what we call the world, consists of these 31 planes of existence. So we begin with the bottom, number 1. Niraya, 2. Tirachana Yoni, 3. Piti Visya, 4. Asurakaya. These 4 are called apaya. Now on the left you see the word apaya. Woeful states. The 4 states of misery or 4 woeful states. Niraya means what? Hell. Tirachana Yoni, animals. Piti Visya, hungry ghosts. And Asurakaya, another kind of ghost, Asura ghosts. So 4 apaya realms. And then next we have Manusa. Since Manusa is just one, we do not put a number in front of it. Manusa means humans. So above the four apayas there is the human realm. Actually, Tirachana, number 2, number 3, and number 4 can be on the same level as human beings. There can be ghosts around us, with us. But Niraya is definitely down there. It's deep in the earth, according to the teachings of Buddhism. And then Manusa, human beings. And then above human beings, there are 6 realms of devas. We can call them devas, lower celestial beings, because there are higher celestial beings as Brahmas. So there are 6 deva lokas, deva realms, and they are 1, Chatu Maharajika, 4 kings, 2 Tawatingsa, 33 gods, 3 Yama, I don't know what that means. Right? And 4 Tusita, priest ones. 5 Nimanarati, those who take delight in what they themselves have created. That means who enjoy their own creations. When they want to enjoy something, they create it and then they enjoy it. Like people in the West. They made a lot of things to enjoy. And then 6 Paranimita Vasavati. So those are persons who do not create for themselves, who let other people create, and then they enjoy that creation. So they are like rich people. They don't do things themselves. So these are the 6. These 6 realms are situated one above the other. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now up to that we have 6 plus 1 plus 4, 11. So these 11 are called what? Kama Vajra. So 11 Kama Vajra realms. Among the Kama Vajra realms, there is Apaya Loka, consisting of 4, Manusa Loka, consisting of 1, and Deva Loka, consisting of 6. So there are 11 realms of sense sphere. Now, when we study the individuals, we say Dukkati, Ahituka, Sukhati, Ahituka, right? So the 4 apayas are called Dukkati, bad destinies, or bad realms, or realms of suffering. And the other 7, including human beings, are called Kama Sukhati. They are Sukhati, so happy destiny, and they belong to sense sphere. So they are called Kama Sukhati. So 4 apayas and 7 Kama Sukhati realms altogether make 11 Kama Vajra realms. And 4 apayas, human beings, and the first and second Deva Lokas are situated on the earth. Now, Tawadingsa is situated on the top of Mount Meru, so it is still connected with earth. So they are situated on the earth. Beginning with Yama, Yama realm is situated in space. So the others are also situated in space. Okay, above the 11 Kama Vajra Lokas, there are 20 Brahma Lokas. They are higher celestial beings. And their names, it may be difficult to remember all the names. So Brahma Parisajja, Brahma Purohita, Mahabrahma, 3 realms situated on the same level. So they are put on the same level here. Brahma Parisajja, Brahma Purohita, Mahabrahma. You can find English translations in the book, Comprehensive Guide to Abhidhamma. And above them, number 4, 5, 6, Paritabha, Appamanabha, Abhasara. And above them, 3 more, Parita Subha, Appamana Subha, Subhakinha. Above them, 2, Vihapala and Asanya Saddha. And above them, 5, Suddhavasa. Suddhavasa means abode of pure ones. So they are number 12, Aviha, and then 13, Attapa, 14, Sudasa, 15, Sudasi, and 16, Akaneta. So up till then, we have how many? 5 plus there are 20 realms in Brahma Loka, and up to Akaneta we get 16 of them. So these 16 are called Rupa Vajra. They are consist of, mostly are consist of Nama and Rupa, but there is one which consists of only Rupa only. So these are called Rupa Vajra realms. So there are 16 Rupa Vajra realms. Now the first 3 are collectively called first jhana plane. So there are 3 first jhana planes, and the second 3 second jhana planes, and the third 3 third jhana planes. And then 4th jhana plane consists of which planes? From number 10 to number 16, right? 4th jhana. Vihapala, Asanyasata and Sodavasa. They belong to fourth jhana planes. Among them, number 11, Asanyasata. Is the abode of beings without mind, or mindless beings. So these beings are like statues. But the other 15 are the abode of beings with both mind and body, right? Okay, then the first jhana brahmas, do they have eyes? Yes. Can they see? Yes. Do they have ears? Can they hear? Do they have nose?
They have no, but no sensitivity.
Right. Yeah. We can say they have noses, but no sense of smell, right? Do they have tongues? Yes. But no sensitivity in tongue. Do they have body? Definitely. Yes. But no sense of touch. So these 15 have both mind and body, mind and matter. But number 11, Asanyasata, have only matter. They are called Rupa Vajra Brahmas. Above them, there are 4 Arupa Vajra. And they are the same, they have the same name as the consciousness. Akasanancha Yatana, Vinyanancha Yatana, Akinchanya Yatana, and Nivasanya Nasanya Yatana. Now they are called what? Arupa Vajra. They are opposite of Asanyasatas. Asanyasatas are mindless beings, and these are, let's say, bodiless beings. So they consist of only mind, that means consciousness and mental factors. So 11 Kama Vajra realms, 16 Rupa Vajra realms, 4 Arupa Vajra realms. We get altogether 31 planes of existence. So a person who is a Puthojana will be reborn in these, say, one of these 31 planes of existences. Sometimes we may go down to hell or to apaya, sometimes we may go up as high as Nivasanya, Nasanya, Yatana. But so long as we do not get enlightenment, we will be reborn in this samsara again and again. Now, if we reach the first stage of enlightenment, then we will not be reborn in the 4 apayas or 4 woeful states. So the aim of Buddhism is to get out of this samsara, to get out of the cycle of rebirth and death. So there are 31 planes of existences, and there are lifespans of these planes of existences. Now for 4 woeful states and for human beings, there is no age limit. That means they may live just a few years, or they may live for thousands and thousands of years. So according to teachings of Buddhism, sometimes human beings may live for 100,000 years or more than that. But the present lifespan of human beings is supposed to be 100 years. But beginning with Chatu Maharajika, there is a definite limit, a definite lifespan. So Chatu Maharajika, how many years their life? 9 million. That means human years. 9 million human years. And for Tawadingsas, multiply by 4. 36 million, and then 144 million, 576 million, 2,304 million, 9,216 million human years. You'll find calculation by what years? That is one chart, right? Yeah, there's another chart. Lifespan of devas. And there it is given Chatu Maharajika. One day in Chatu Maharajika is equal to 50 years in human realm and so on. So the life or years are given there. And then beginning with Brahma Lokas, we use K and so on. So 1/3 K, 1/2 K, 1 K. K means kappa, a world cycle. So 1/3 of a world cycle, half of a world cycle, 1 world cycle, and 2 world cycle, and so on. So until we get to 84,000 world cycles. And 1 world cycle, nobody knows how long a 1 world cycle is. So 84,000 world cycle means indefinite amount of time. And then on those sheets, the distance of different realms from human realm are given. So it's just for your information, just to know that these are in the books on Buddhism. I mean, mostly they are taken from sub-commentaries. And then the lifespan of hell. Now there are 8 great hells. And the 8th one is called Aviti, it's the worst. And then hells are situated in the earth, Prithvi, which is 120,000 yojanas thick, and underneath is the rock Prithvi, which is also 120,000 yojanas thick, and the Aviti hell is situated on it. Now, according to Buddhist cosmology, the earth is supposed to be 240,000 leagues deep. The half is made of earth, and the other half is made of rock, something like that. Now, they may not be so interesting or not so important, but what is important is how many kinds of beings can be reborn in which realms. Say in Nidya, there are 12 individuals. You know the 12 individuals, right? So how many of these 12 individuals can be reborn in hell? Only one, right? You look at this chart, planes and individuals. So I hope you understand the abbreviations there. DA means Dukati Ahetuka, SA Sukati Ahetuka, DV Dvihetuka, TI Tihetuka, SOM. What's that? Sotabadi Magga, SOPH Sotabadi Phala, SAM Sakadagami Magga, SAPH Sakadagami Phala, ANM Anagami Magga, ANPH Anagami Phala, ARM Arahata Magga, right? ARPH Arahata Phala. So now you see Nidya on the left column. So in Nidya, how many kinds of persons can be reborn? Only one kind of person, and that is Dukati Ahetuka. And Tirachanayoni, as an animal, also Dukati Ahetuka. As a ghost, Dukati Ahetuka. As an asura, Dukati Ahetuka. But as Manusa, almost all, right? Manusa can be Sukati Ahetuka, Duhetuka, Dihetuka, Sotapati Magga, and so on. And Jatu Maharajiga say, tower things are Dvihetuka, beginning with Dvihetuka, all the rest. Yama, Tusita, Nima, Naradi, Paranimena, Vasavati also Dvihetuka. And then, first jhana 3, Ramalokas. Only Dihetuka persons can be reborn there, no Dvihetuka persons. The same with second jhana, third jhana, planes. And then Vihapala also. With Asanyasada, Sugati Ahetuka. Although he is a Brahma, he is an Ahetuka person, because there is no hetu with his birth, because the birth is just metta and no Chaita or Chaitasika. So there are no roots with him. So he is called Sugati Ahetuka. Only one. And then Sodawasa 5. What? Only 3 persons can be reborn there, right? Anagami Phala, Arhata Magga, and Arhata Phala. Actually, only 3 persons can exist there. Something like that. A Magga person is not reborn actually, right? At the moment of Magga, he is called a Magga person. So a Magga person cannot be reborn. And then 4 Arupa Vajras. Dihetuka, but no Sotapati Magga. So there can be no Sotapati Magga person in Arupa Vajra realm. You know why? Right. No hearing from others, right? Yeah. They do not get instructions, or they cannot hear instructions. So in Arupa Vajra realm, there can be no Sotapati Maggata. So in Burma, according to this chart, we say there are 214 types of individuals. There are 214 individuals, and they are such and such. Then there's a calculation that I made it. I hope that's correct. That is, by lifespan of, and then so and so. So Jatu Maharajika, the lifespan of Jatu Maharajika Devas is said to be 500 celestial years. And that is equal to 9 million human years. So by Taotingsa reckoning, their life is only 250 celestial years. And by Yama reckoning, only 125, you divide by 2, make half, and so on. So, or you can go down, right? Jatu Maharajika, by Jatu Maharajika reckoning, they live 500 years. And Taotingsa and Devas live for 2,000 years by Jatu Maharajika reckoning and so on. This is just playing around. You don't have to remember them. How the world is destroyed by fire, water, and air. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Now the world is destroyed by sometimes by fire, sometimes by water, and sometimes by air. And there is a definite, definite pattern of destruction. So 7 times by fire, and the 8th time is by water. Another 7 times by fire, and the 8th time water. Another 7 times by fire, 8 times, 8th time water, and so on. So the last one is 64th. At 64th time, the world is destroyed by air or wind. So that is how the world is destroyed. So please do not be concerned about reaching the end of the world. It's long, many years before the world will come to an end, according to Buddhist teachings. So the destruction of world takes place mostly by fire, sometimes by water, and rarely by air. Once in 64 times, it is destroyed by air. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in 64 times, it is destroyed by water. And the others, how many? 64 minus 8. 56. Yeah. 56 times by fire. Okay. Next time, maybe karma, and even revision takes a long time. Huh? I thought it would finish with about two classes. Now we have 3 classes. Still, we have not reached the point where we left off last year. Okay. So, how do you want to make an announcement?
They have just one of your minutes. Johnny, Bhante, this is the first tape. The Dharma lecture tape that Tathagata Meditation produced is your lecture that Tony edited and read onto the tape. And may we offer you that first one?
Thank you. And it's on walking meditation?
Yes.
I haven't done the distractions yet.
And we do have the tape for free distribution to everybody present here.
Mm.
And we look forward to many more of these lectures so we can share with everyone.
Yeah, that's a very good idea.
These are the 5 copies that we want to
Oh,
offer
yeah.
to the Mexican
Yes,
devotees.
yes. The same thing?
Yes, it's
Oh,
exactly the same thing.
good. Oh, I'm going to Mexico on the 22nd of this month, and I'll be there for 2 weeks, and I come back on July the 7th. You know, I was to go there in January this year. I was sick and I cancelled that. And then whenever they call, they just ask me, when are you coming, when are you coming? So I said in June I may be able to go there. So 2 weeks in Pacific coast.